Most people in their 20s are losers. And if you're watching this video, it's probably because you want to win. So not only are most people in their 20s losers, but they let people who are actually a little bit less losers than them keep them stuck in the same exact spot. My name is Jay Taylor. I've generated multiple six figures off of sales, managing a sales team, and running my own sales training. And in this video, I'm going to break down to you why most people in their 20s are either stuck doing nothing, they're doing something, but they're letting good be the enemy of great, and that's why they're never getting better. Or, you have that top 5-10% who's really generating real results for their life. So let's just start off with like the bottom 50%. And I think it's fair to say like about half of people. I didn't come here with like a bunch of statistics and actual exact numbers. We just know this is true based on our experiences in life. I'd say like the bottom 0.5%, they just do nothing. They're lazy. They don't really have any ambition. And you see them sitting on the couch, they're smoking weed, or all they care about is partying and all this like frivolous stuff, but it's like the same exact people that complain about money and how they want to make more money, but what it would actually require for them to make some more money is like getting out of their comfort zone and facing fear and facing their challenges and actually doing something. Because when you actually do something, you're putting yourself up against risk versus failing. So if you're not doing anything, there's no risk, you have nothing to lose. Obviously you're stuck in an uncomfortable spot and it sucks, but like actually getting up and doing something, then you face on that risk of failing. So these people are stuck here because they don't want to fail. They're somehow comfortable with the uncomfortability. And then, like some of them actually like get a kick out of being stuck at the bottom, being able to complain to people about their problems and like be this kind of victim. And once again, disclaimer, this video is not necessarily knocking anybody. This is just like the hard truth, because I know typically my audience is going to want to hear the hard truth, because I know you guys, you either want to get into sales, you want to get into some kind of business, and you want to get results, and you want to make some money. So those people are stuck here for that reason. Now, these people are actually pushed down from getting to their goals, and the thing that actually keeps them from facing fear and facing failure even more is this next level of people, which I would say is like the next 40% up, who have solved and figured out something. So granted, this is like a big range. I don't want to say all of them make six figures or like a little bit over it, but it seems to me like in people in their 20s, like a lot of them like crack this like just over six-figure mark, where it's like they make like either 80, 90, 100 to 120,000 a year, and now they're like this big successful know-it-all that just figured life out. And if you tell them anything that you want to do, it's like, dude, I wouldn't do it that way because blah 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 blah. So granted, now if those people want to be stuck at that spot and they're comfortable being like mid-high class, some of them just like middle class, I wouldn't call them low middle class, but just like somewhere in the middle / like mid-high class, and they're just happy there and that's where they want to sit for the rest of their lives, that's fine. Like kudos to them for even reaching there and going to college or doing whatever they're doing. So I'm not completely knocking them. What I am 1000% knocking them for is pushing other people down who are either at the same level at them or below them. And what they tell these people is like, dude, don't start a business, blah, 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 blah. Go into this super safe opportunity with benefits. And don't do this. Go do this because it's safe and it's secure. And like, if there's anybody that I actually can't understand, it's these freaking secure people that preach security. First of all, first things first, if you want to start a business, listen to somebody who started a business and actually generated some kind of results in it. Listen to people who are at the spot that you want to be at. Don't listen to people who've never done this before. Like, I had a mentor and he said, if you were going to walk across a frozen lake, would you follow the path with footsteps or no footsteps? And that's a good one you guys can use on your sales calls. But literally, like, what would you follow? The path with footsteps or no footsteps? So why are you listening to your mom, who's telling you about business and all this stuff? She knows about life. She doesn't know a thing about business. It doesn't make any sense. It's like me giving advice to a professional tennis player about his career, like a young kid who's going to go play professional tennis. And I'm like, bro, I wouldn't go join that league. I'd probably go do this. I don't know what I'm talking about. So I should probably just shut up. And that's most people's problem. They have to have an opinion on everything and they don't know how to just shut up. So that's why I actually can't stand this 40% of people more than the people that are below them at the bottom. The lazy people, they're just lazy. They're probably not putting their opinion in much because they're just lazy and they're not taking any action in their own life, so they're kind of just out of the way. Now, some of those lazy people have aspirations and ambitions to do big things. And then some of those people in the 40% do. And then a lot of those people stuck in this middle realm here just push people down by acting like they know it all and like they're these big successful CEO business owners or even sales. They tell people don't get into sales because it's a commission-based pay and it's not, safe and it's not secure and maybe it doesn't carry all these benefits and all this stuff. And it's like, bro, you're only so worried about benefits because you don't make a lot of money. Honestly, let's really talk about it. Because people who Grant Cardone isn't staring at his health sheets worried about the benefits. He might be worried about his workers' benefits and what he can offer his company to save him money. But overall, he's not panicking about the next medical bill because he figured this out. He figured out real financial freedom. And I think people's priorities be screwed up. And everybody, this goes back to my last video where I sat down and spoke on a different topic about how to actually get rich and start to build some wealth. That people chase what's easy. So all that they want in life is, hey, what's going to be easy for me? What's going to generate these easy results? How can I get into real estate because I think it's going to be so passive? How can I do stocks because it's so passive? How can I have benefits and a 401k so I can get paid and do nothing and sit on the beach? And that mindset is the problem. So it's not, I don't want to come from a place of ignorance here. It's not the benefits that are a problem. It's not the 401k. These are awesome things that are provided to people. It's not a problem. It's not the stocks that are a problem. Get into stocks. It's the mindset that you think you want to do that just because it's going to generate something from you when you don't have to do anything. That's your mindset, which it's not even true, first of all. It's not true. Because how much is really going to be in a 401k when you barely make any money? Or how much is going to be in your stocks when you barely make any money? Let's be real. So these are the levels of people that we're actually addressing. And then you have the 10%, I might even say it's 5%, 10% might be a little bit too generous, but you have that top percentile of people who go for their goals and actually take action and actually are the best version of themselves every day and they do what they want to do. Now, this doesn't just mean business owners. Somebody could go for their goals and they could be a huge action taker. And they can work for somebody and they could be making a ton of money or they could have killed it and got their version of financial freedom and be happy. So it's not just to say that these top 10% are business owners, but it's people who really, stood on business. They stood on, whatever that they believed in and they didn't let other people get in their way. So that's a couple things. I'd say that people hold themselves back with their own limiting beliefs, which is horrible and it's bad and it keeps you stuck at the bottom. And then even worse, they let people who have done nothing or relatively nothing that they want to do, because ultimately if those people made the six figures on the dot, 100,000 a year before taxes, and then got slammed with taxes and made 70 grand a year, they wouldn't be oh so happy that they wouldn't feel like they want to be a few more levels up. So they'd be stuck right in that same spot with all those other people there who complain about people who are at the top and how they're so bad and blah, 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 and taking risk is dangerous and that's like being a rapper and it's a movie life. Whole point, no, I'm going on a huge rant here. Don't listen to those people. They haven't figured much out that you probably want to figure out. So listen to people that actually have taken action in the realm that you want to, succeed in. For example, no shade to my mom, love my mom to death, but when I told her I went out and got a mentor back in the day when I first got a mentor, she's like, oh, you got scammed, this and that, blah, blah, blah. She simply doesn't know. Once again, another example, when I was getting into SMMA, and I was in SMMA once upon a time, my mom's like, oh, I did it for a long time and, I didn't make any money off of it, but she didn't really try it. No shade to my mom. My mom's awesome. She works very hard. She takes care of her whole, current family, but it's just she had never gotten into that realm. So she was not the person to actually give me advice for that. And that's what I see people doing wrong, is they're taking advice from the wrong people. So not only do they have their limiting beliefs that are pushing them down, but now they're letting other people's limiting beliefs push them down, and they don't get anywhere. They don't get where they want to be. So ultimately, if you want to get in that top 5 to 10% and you want to stop living the way that you're living right now, you're better off just not listening to anyone around you that's not doing astonishing thing to what you actually want to do. And then 2, you need to get out of your own head and just stop chasing what's easy. I'm not like sitting here preaching to you like jump in cold showers and ice buckets and all this stuff. You know how many ice bucket people I know who are broke? Like seriously. Like make it make sense at the end of the day. Like I don't go in ice buckets, guys. So sorry that I don't fit in that crew of people, and I don't want to be super, controversial here, but people just focus on the wrong things. Like, dude, don't get in an ice bucket. Like, actually invest in yourself and take some actual risks that you're really uncomfortable with. Not just like putting your body in freaking cold water and then hopping out and then doing the same thing every day and not taking any risk or action in your life and staying broke. So, if you don't want to be broke and you don't want to be stuck in the same spot and you don't want to be a loser, take action, take risks, put yourself in uncomfortable spots, because that's where you're actually going to grow. And stop listening to people, because people ultimately, most of them don't know what they're talking about, and they are not the person that you want to actually be. So listen to that person, take risks, take action. We only live once. If you guys want some more help with sales, go join my free school group below, where I go over all the frameworks, tools, and scripts that I use to generate multiple six figures off of sales. Have a good one, guys, and I'll see you soon.